Oh, yeah. All right. Whoa. All right, we are live on YouTube. I hope you can hear me. It's a little windy out here today. Oh, man. This is going to be a challenge. It's windier than yesterday. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to the show. First and foremost, I apologize for the very late start. I had some things to handle off of YouTube. I was talking with my lady and a few other people and had some non-YouTube related stuff to take care of. Hey Anna, how you doing? Hey Michael, welcome to the show. Hey Dusty's girl. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is going to be a challenging show here today because it's windy. Gusts are coming in and out every now and then, so if it gets a little choppy, we will just deal with it as we always do, you know. Coach J-Ron, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing, man? Rosie Wren, the queen of YouTube. You might as well be the queen of YouTube. How you doing, Rosie? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Yeah, very, very windy today. Whew. Let's cross right here. I hope you're all enjoying the weekend. It's Saturday. It's a nice day, except for the wind. It's about 62, 63 degrees here, so not too terribly cold or warm. Oh, this is interesting. Is the trail closed? There are some cones up there. I hope the trail is not closed. Oh, that would suck. I'd have to just walk around the neighborhood here and show you the apartments. I've done that walk before. Huh. Actually, there is another way to get into the trail. And I may just have to go that way. Wow. Or maybe the other side is open. They were working on the other side last time. Oh, it's freshly paved cement right there. And maybe they did one side at a time so they can at least keep the other side open. It's open. All right. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? I have another great topic here to discuss with you folks today. And it's another important one. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Is that a ducky in there taking a swim? Yeah. I gotta tell you folks, I feel frickin' fantastic. And I hope you feel fantastic as well. Part of why I do what I do out here on YouTube, and I do it so regularly, I broadcast my walks pretty much almost every day, is because I don't want any one of you to ever feel alone. I want people to know that if you become a part of my community, you will never be alone. You will never feel alone. You will always have good people at your disposal to support you in many various ways that we support people. Now, I can't promise you that. Whoa. Wow. I can't promise you folks that everyone will be supported monetarily. You can never make a promise like that, but I will tell you this. This group here that I have here on YouTube, through my moderators and other great collaborators, is one of the best emotional support groups you're going to find out here on YouTube or anywhere on social media. There's no other place you're going to be able to find and get the real, true emotional support that every man and woman needs. And I say men as well too, or as well. I don't have to say a redundant word. Men as well, too. Men as well. Enough said, right? And that's why I continue doing what I do. And that's why I continue to fight the fight of being a public figure on social media and dealing with ridiculous bullshit to bring this to you folks. Because, social media, wherever you go on social media, it's always a shared platform. YouTube is a shared platform. And when you're on a shared platform, that's what you have to deal with. You're going to be dealing with not only the behavior of people that are a part of your community, but the behavior of other communities trying to infiltrate your community. And you have to learn how to deal with it. And over here, in my neck of the woods, we've learned how to deal with this stuff. Not only learn how to deal with it, but we've learned how to rise above it. And I'm really proud of each and every one of you that has risen above all the ridiculousness that has happened. The ridiculousness that has happened, which is what I'm trying to say, in the past. Oh. Wow. Are you folks able to hear me at all? There's a gentleman coming on the other side. I'm going to wait for him to pass me. So I'll pull off here and check out the chat for a little bit. California Ford Outdoors, how you doing? Great to see you here today. Hope your weekend is going well. Eli, may I drop the link? What are you talking about, dropping the link to the stream? You can invite anyone you want. You can share the link on your community wall if you like of the stream. Sure, anyone can come in and watch this as a public stream. If you're talking about StreamYard, there's no StreamYard panel for these mobile streams. It's not possible unless you run this stream through StreamYard directly on your phone, and I don't do that. Let's see here. What else? Time for a change. Southsider, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Coach J-Rom is in Portland, Oregon, state above California. Hope you're having a great time out there, J-Rom. Hope you're being safe. Oh, man. I really hate it when it's this windy on this trail. It's usually not this windy, but lately it has been. But it's coming in spurts. So you should be able to hear me okay for the most part. Let's see here. Later tonight, I might end up doing a stream on Coach Eli too. Just to kind of share my thoughts on some things. I'm not going to mention exactly what I'm going to be talking about if I decide to do the stream. But I talked to my lady, and my lady is off work tomorrow. And her Mother's Day plans, her mother is out of town. And like I said in the past, right now, her daughter's being a little brat and kind of not being nice to mama. I'll put it politely. I think that'll change at some point. We all go through that period of time where we're not happy with our parents, no matter how good they treat us. And so, rather than my lady being by herself, she's going to be coming over tonight. We're going to be hanging out, and I might do a stream and have her in the same room and maybe have her share some thoughts while we're live. There are some things that I do want to discuss. And again, I'm not going to mention exactly what that is. So just make sure you subscribe to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams and bang the bell, select the notifications, and then you'll know when I go live and you'll know what I'll be talking about. But it's going to be interesting. And all I'm going to say is this: it will be done in a very respectful, professional, and mature way. Is that NC is Queen? What's going on, NC is Queen? How you doing? California Ford Outdoors says, Coach J-Rob, you didn't say that about Los Angeles. Well, he was talking smack about Portland, Oregon, right? That's all good. Everyone has their opinions on things, and that's all good, right? Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, right? Michael Portnoy, how you doing, man? Welcome to the How's your weekend going, man? Thank you so much for being here. Before I get to the topic here, folks, I just want to, continue today by saying I really appreciate the positivity that's been going through this group of people here lately. We have a bunch of new people that have started to support the shows and the content here on my main channel and my secondary channel and my entire coaching business. It feels really nice to have a place on social media that's not about always, going at people or attacking people or, attacking people based on their political party preference or, their ways of being a man or ways of being a woman or whatever, right? It's really nice to have a place where we can just have nice, reasonable, civil discussions, conversations, get to know each other better, and share ideas together and grow together. That's what I've always dreamed of creating out here, and that's what I'm going to continue creating. And I'm going to continue to fight the good fight, not only for myself, but for each and every one of you. Are you folks able to hear me at all? That's right, Eli. Let me pull over here. Somebody's coming. I'm going to let him pass. Michael Portnoy, all I'm going to tell you is that there are multiple people that have cloned my accounts. It's not me. So I don't, let me put it to you this way, Michael Portnoy. I will never go into drama chats. So if it's a drama shit show, it's a sock account. And if I'm ever a part of a drama shit show, there would be a good reason why I'd be there in the first place. I would post in the chat and tell the mods to check out my channel with over 6K subs. So, Michael, those are sock accounts. Michael, you know the type of person I am, right? I mean, look, when people try to pretend to be you, they try extra hard to come off like you, and they come off like a phony. So you can tell when it's me or not. But no, Michael, I was not on any other live streams today. I haven't consumed any YouTube content today. And maybe like one piece of content, but I was just really busy. I was chatting up with my lady and then some other people about some non-YouTube related stuff. Give me a second, someone's coming by. Whew, man. Windy, 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 windy. I know I was saying no way it's really Eli. J-Rom says I was on that panel, so that was me for sure. Well, when it's your voice, bro, it'd be really hard to copycat that. You know, who knows, Coach J-Rob? Some of these people would go as far as get a voice print of your voice and get a voice modulator and then talk like you. I mean, I wouldn't put it past any people out here on YouTube to do such a thing, right? Look at how windy it is here today. Wow. Whew. Yeah, give me a second here, folks. At least it's a good workout, I'll tell you that. So, let me see. Yes, we can hear and see you clearly, says Anna. That's right, says Dusty. Let me see. All right. So again, I'm really proud of where this channel and my other channel, Coach Eli 2, is heading. Oh man. And I'm proud of all of you that have made tremendous changes within yourselves and bettered yourselves and allowed me the opportunity to entertain you. Well, not even entertain you, but, to provide you, quality, uplifting content almost every day, if not every day. And sure, I can be entertaining at times. Who isn't entertaining at times, right? How you doing? That nice gentleman waved at me again. He was here the other day. Yeah, you learn to, or you actually get to know the locals. When you live out here, you see the same people. They see you. It's kind of like a safety thing. Like, yeah, this guy lives here. We all live here. It's our hood, right? Yeah, I'm really thinking about doing that stream on Coach Eli 2 tonight because I do have some things to say, and I honestly think that what I talk about on Coach Eli 2 tonight is going to help shift the minds of many people out there that are looking for something different. Let's put it that way. And I'm not trying to convince anyone to do anything, but there are some really, really amazing people on this platform that are looking for a change. And I feel that my community here, our community, let's call it our community because I'm not about being possessed or anything, our community here can and does provide that. Man, hell of a workout. Whew. Let me check out the chat here real quick. And then we're going to get to the topic here. Yeah, NC is queen and everyone else. There are certain things I will never ever discuss on this channel again. If you folks want to know more about stuff, you can email me. But what I want you to know, NC's Queen, is that my network here and myself, we stand on our own. And again, understand that YouTube is a shared platform. And YouTube is owned by Google. And Google accounts are easy to create and create fake accounts. And you just have to take into consideration for yourself that most of what you see out here is not real. And that's as far as, I'm willing to take that. I wholeheartedly am just here to create positivity and, support people that are open to the support. Let me see here. Time for a change. Who is GW? It's the Granny's Watching channel, run by a lady named Jess, or Jessica for short, or Jess, which is short for Jessica. Let me see here. Yeah, Michael Portnoy, I'm seeing your messages. I'll say the same thing to you. Anyone can create a YouTube channel and a Google account and be anonymous and, make and then clone accounts and fake accounts, right? It's up to you, what you want to believe and not believe, right? And who you want to support and not support, right? It really sucks that we even have to talk about this because it is a shared platform and, there are bad and good people on this platform and other social media platforms as well. You just have to choose what works for you and what doesn't, right? You never heard of her? Well, maybe a good thing, maybe not. I don't have a problem with her, but she's a drama channel, and I'm not too fond of that stuff on my end here. You know what I'm saying? But she's not a bad person. You want to check her out? Check her out. Yeah, Michael Portnoy, you've been around for a while now to understand that I already know what you're saying, and I'm not worried about anything, right? When you become a public figure on the internet, you are, you're putting yourself out there and you are subject to the scrutiny of the court of public opinion, right? And you need to be prepared to deal with this kind of stuff, right? Especially if you use your real name and show your face, and people can run background checks on you and find out where you live and find out your background record and all that stuff, right? And you have to also learn to understand, Michael Portnoy, that a lot of these people that look into people like me, and they run our backgrounds, they're only doing it to just, create cringy content. That's all. They're not even really necessarily trying to harm people per se. They're just looking to make entertainment content. It's not right, but that's what they do, right? And can it come off in a negative way to the right people that are trying to use your services, your products and services? Sure. But I think every individual by this point knows how the internet works, knows there are trolls and haters, and knows there are always going to be bad reviews along with good reviews. Whenever you look at product reviews, you get a lot of bad reviews and good reviews, even for great products, right? It's no different than that here. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's no different than that here. Everyone is capable of forming their own opinions or opinion on people. And usually people, don't take the first sign of someone saying something negative about you on the internet without checking you out first. You see, for me, Michael Portnoy, when people make videos on me and they try to tarnish my reputation, all it does is give me more exposure and free publicity, right? Because what do, Michael? They come over here and check me out, and they're like, this is just a normal dude just trying to help uplift people. What the hell are these people doing? Right? Or they may share videos that are, 3 or 4 years old, right? And if people come here and ask, I'd say, look, I was new to YouTube. I was learning the ropes. And, some people crawled under my skin because I was still learning the ropes. And I said some things I shouldn't have said. I apologize. Please forgive me. Feel free to stay if you'd like. I'd love to get to know you better. That's the way you handle it. Respectfully, professionally, and maturely, right? She created this one channel to go after one channel. She calls it awareness, but I call it a hate channel. I know a few people who don't want to be associated by you because they think you support Granny. Are you talking about me, bro? Listen, I don't necessarily support or not support anyone. I'm civil with anyone. Okay? There are channels and people I stay away from, but I don't necessarily support or not support anyone. And I think if people are going to say, oh, well, we're not going to support Eli because you support Granny's watching, then toodaloo, right? I mean, why worry about those people? Those are childish, immature, insecure people. Like, reasonable people don't judge people that way. They don't judge people at all. They give people a chance and see if their message resonates or if your message resonates with them. And then they choose after that. Those are just immature people, bro. Any publicity is good publicity. I'm getting blown away here. What's the topic? We're getting to it in a second. Anna says, if someone doesn't want to be drama, it's not hard to not be drama. Look at my channel. I don't want to be drama, and magically, I'm not even though I associate with drama people. Well, let me ask you a question, Anna Ram. Sorry, I always say Ram for you, but it's Rom, like CD-ROM. I get it, right? Why do you associate with drama people if you want no drama in your life? I mean, I understand that you care about everyone and you have compassion and empathy for everyone, but I've tried that and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, if you want no drama in your life, Anna, or anyone else, you got to remove all drama. You got to remove all drama people and anyone they're associated with. Because anyone that's associated with drama people is a leak back into drama. And if you want to remove drama completely, you got to remove every part of the drama, right? My God. It's really windy here today. I'm trying to cover the mic so you folks can hear me. Whew. Again, like I said yesterday, it'll be better on the way back because the wind will be hitting my back. But this is going to be a hell of a workout today. Whew. We got some people coming behind me. I'm going to keep it rolling. Let me see here. I'm sorry, I meant no harm, just stating the facts. Some people came to me. Well, who came to you, Michael? Are they people I know? You mind mentioning who came to you? I mean, if you're going to put it out there, Michael, might as well just put it out there, bro, and I'll decide if I responded or not. Don't worry, I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm just curious to know who contacted you. Anna Aram, I'll always be a ram. And this is because they don't always do drama. I support the non-drama content. Dusty's girl, can you imagine if you had one of those weighted backpacks. Oh, I've been on hiking trails with, 30 to 40 pounds on my back and wind. And I will tell you honestly, Dusty, it's the complete opposite. When you're weighed down, you have more support. Whenever I've worn a heavy backpack, it actually gives my whole body more support because it's weighing my body down, right? And if it's windy, there's less of a chance you're going to lose your step because you're being weighed down more into the ground. You're not being blown away. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sit here for a second and wait for this person to pass me by. I went hiking with a 30-pound pack. It wasn't bad. I didn't know that. Yeah, because hiking backpacks have nice padding on your shoulders and on your back, but they also have, a chest and a waist strap. So it distributes the weight equally all over your body. And it also weighs you down equally all over your body. So you actually have, in my opinion, it's a fact, you actually have better stability with some weight on you. And you burn more calories because you're moving more weight. Let me see here. All right. Okay. I believe we're at episode 285 today. Let's get right to this, folks, as I let this person get a little bit ahead of me. They're walking at a pretty slow, leisurely pace. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco Bay Trail here in Redwood City, California. It's windy today. This is episode number 285, and the topic is finding your balance. Never squeeze people too tight or too loose. One more time. Finding your balance. Never squeeze people too tight or too loose. Now, my lady is working, so, she's probably not going to be chatting that much, if at all. But I do have some examples to share regarding this topic because this is something that affects most men and women out there, from connecting with other people, especially in dating relationships. But it can also happen in business relationships too. There are certain people out there that are very, very pushy, or, when they get into a relationship, they're so into that other person that, wow, they start to squeeze very, very tight, meaning they start to become a little suffocating, meaning that they want all your time and attention. And more so this happens, by women. But there have been men known to suffocate women by squeezing too tight or trying to lock a woman down early on in the relationship when that's not the man's job in the first place. And typically people that squeeze too tight, they do it because, they have some unresolved trauma or abandonment issues. And because they've been abandoned from a young age, they went through an abandonment situation, they feel that everyone's going to leave them if they don't hold on very tight. Well, the truth of the matter is people are more prone to leave when you squeeze too tight because you're suffocating them. It's like a balloon. You take a balloon, if you squeeze the balloon too tight, the balloon will pop. But if you, don't hold the balloon tight enough, it'll slip away and get away and fly away, right? Whew. Oh, man. Eli, your streams are very calming. I'm thinking of setting up your videos on a playlist to sleep to. Have you thought about advertising your content also as a type of ASMR calming content? That's a good idea, actually, and I'll look into that. That may be a good idea there. NC is queen. Now, don't get me wrong, NC is queen. I'm very well capable of creating drama and stirring up drama. I think anyone is. I'm very well capable of amping things up and having fun and doing stupid shit. It's just not me, and it's just not the way I want to live my life. And I honestly, wholeheartedly believe that most people don't want to live a drama-filled life. People that live a drama-filled life are just, unhappy regarding one or many things about themselves. They have many unresolved issues, like I keep saying, right? Some people even have mental and emotional issues. And I'll tell you, being out here on YouTube, I've seen all walks of life. I've seen everything happen. Man, can you folks hear me? Or has it been choppy every now and then? Or has it been pretty clear for the most part? I'm really trying to, it's taking me longer to walk this trail today because I'm really trying to turn around and block the wind and talk with you folks and walk backwards. So it doesn't cut me out because we've got about 40 to 50 mile an hour winds today here again. And the last time that happened, it did sound a bit choppy on the replay, even with the windscreen on. Oh, wow. So, tomorrow is Mother's Day. Let me share a story here with you folks. And, my lady and I, just as an update, my lady and I did not get a chance to record the first part of her video today. I wasn't feeling too well this morning. She was ready, but, I wasn't feeling that well, and I needed some extra rest. We're going to record it sometime this week, and tomorrow is Mother's Day. And she doesn't want to record it tomorrow because, her mother's out of town, and her and her daughter, are not on speaking terms right now. And it's not my lady's fault at all. Her daughter is 27, and she's just going through a lot. And I kind of shared that story before. I'm not going to share it, but the fact that my lady's daughter is probably not going to call her tomorrow or want to hang out with her tomorrow, it really hurts my lady. And, my lady and I were talking today, and I'm literally walking backwards on this trail so I can actually talk with you folks because the wind is hitting my back. Yeah, so give me a second here. The chat's catching up. So I was talking with my lady earlier today. She was feeling pretty bad. She was, she texted me, and I told her that, I'm not feeling up to doing the interview today. I'm not feeling that great. I need a little more rest. But then we talked afterwards because she wasn't feeling well. We talked on the phone for a couple hours. And, it really takes a toll on a mother when their children, are more than likely not going to reach out to them on Mother's Day. And, my lady's done absolutely nothing wrong. She's always been a good mother. But no matter how good of a mother you are or father you are, sometimes your kids are going to revolt. Sometimes they're just going to go off and do their own thing. But it still hurts. And that just goes to show, how this modern world is nowadays. Oh, I hit that branch there. It goes to show how this modern world is nowadays. Like, you can even raise your kids as best as possible, and they're still gonna pull away and withdraw at times, and behave in erratic ways that you didn't raise them to behave in, right? It is just super freaking windy, and I'm really trying to keep it together here. Okay, this may be a little better. So we're trying to figure out, oh my God. So we're trying to figure out, what's been going on with my lady. Because she's saddened, and I don't blame her for being saddened. It's Mother's Day tomorrow, right? And we pretty much chalked it up to one thing. And I was saying, baby, you have your abandonment issues that stem back to your childhood. And because of that, everyone that you love and care for, including when you first started seeing me, you start squeezing us really tight. Really tight. And she did that to me too. And I noticed it. But I didn't hold it against her because I knew what she had been through from the very beginning when we first started seeing each other. And what I think is happening with her kids is that even when she was married and with her husband, at that time, her ex-husband now, because of the abandonment back in her younger days with her actual parents, she squeezed so tight to her daughter, especially, that was her firstborn, and then her son, that she suffocated them. No disrespect, babe. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying this is exactly how it probably has come off to them. There's nothing that overwhelms a human being more than being suffocated by a friend or a loved one. And that loved one could be a family member or a significant other, right? Or a dating partner or a marriage partner, right? You got to allow people to breathe. You got to give people some time and space away from you, whether you're a man or a woman. And that also includes, even if you're living together, you got to have a little bit of space from each other each and every day. And that's why, both men and women are working nowadays. But even for, retired couples, or some couples work at home together, right? You still need to give each other some breathing room each and every day, a couple hours at least, so you can recharge the soul and come back to your other half fully energized. Coach Corey Wayne has always said, and this is more so for men, but I feel it should apply to women as well. Coach Corey Wayne says, you have to love the person you love in such a way where the person you love feels free, right? You got to love the person you're with in such a way where the person you love feels free. If you're dating a woman, you got to let her come and go as you wish, or as she wishes, I mean. You got to let her roam the neighborhood and do whatever she wants to do. Because if she's really into you, she will always roam back to you naturally, and that's what you want. If she's not into you, then she'll roam around with other kitty cats, and when you find out, you can just let her go permanently, right? But if you do not let a woman, in this case, roam around the neighborhood and do what she wants until she's ready to come back to you, then she's going to feel unappreciated, controlled. She's going to feel like you don't trust her, and she's going to lose respect for you, probably end up cheating on you and then leaving you, right? Now, this more so holds true for men, but in this modern world, because of the way things are, it should also hold true for women. Women, you've got to love your man in such a way nowadays where the man that you love feels free. If your man feels smothered, there are men that will just, leave because it gets too much. It becomes overwhelming. It becomes emotionally taxing. Now, to my woman, if you're listening or if you watch the replay, we're good, and I'm just sharing this for example purposes, but I'm sure it'll probably still hit a nerve, and we'll talk more about that tonight, because this will help you and will also help other people once they realize this. I'm just trying to walk backwards to avoid the wind. I'm having a hard time doing it. Have you folks been able to hear me so far? All right, give me a second here. I'm going to pull up to the side and read the chat. Whoa. I'm going to pull up to the side and read the chat. I'll take I trust you over I love you every time, says J-Rom. Agree that Coach J-Rom, says Anna. And yes, we can still hear you. Thank you. Dusty's girl, I give my children advice, but ultimately they are going to do as they want. True. Anna says, LOL, my mom goes off all the time because she's like, I didn't raise you like that. I just come back with, I am an adult that has free will. I will do as I see fit. But let me ask you, Anna. Let me ask you. Give me a second here. Let me ask you this, Anna. Are you going to be seeing your mother on Mother's Day, or at least calling her and wishing her a happy Mother's Day? Let me know if you're going to be doing that. I'll be spending some time with my mom. Whew. The thing with my lady is that her kids are probably not going to call her and wish her a happy Mother's Day. One of her sons is in a different state, and her daughter lives a few hours away. But at the very least, even though your mama may still try to tell you what to do, Anna, you're going to call her and wish her a happy Mother's Day, right? Wow, this is really, really bad wind. Give me a second, folks. I'm going to go hit that bench over there, let this dude pass me again, and then I got to use the restroom. Anna drove 3 hours to West Virginia just to buy her mom's favorite treats. They only have them at that one place. That's awesome. She didn't abort me. The least I could do is thank her for letting me live. Wow, that's awesome. I don't know where that came from. I see my boys because they live here, but not my daughter. Okay. All right. So that's the problem nowadays. The problem nowadays is that there are many people that have unresolved issues that, attempt to work through those issues, and they will meet good people, like they'll meet a good relationship partner, but then they'll start to squeeze very tightly to hold that relationship partner on. Whew. And that's not healthy for the relationship, and that's not addressing the underlying issue. And that's going to do nothing but create issues regarding every person that person encounters and connects with, or becomes friends with or anything else with, it's going to affect them with every person until the underlying issue is resolved. This is what I keep telling people. You cannot move forward in life in a way that it's going to, allow you to, how to say this the right way? Until you resolve your underlying issues, you're not going to be able to fully move forward in everything in life and not let anything affect you. Things are going to affect you in life until you resolve your underlying issues. Now, in the sake of my lady, I'm not going to get too far into it. We're going to save it for the show. But the underlying issue is regarding someone that, in my opinion, is not willing to talk about the underlying issue. They want to table it, right? And you can figure out who that is. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say too much. But until that underlying issue is resolved, the fear of abandonment's always going to kick into my lady whenever she meets somebody new, or, with all her friends and family. She's always going to squeeze on tight. It's not that she wants to squeeze that tight. It's what she knows. It's her survival mechanism. Does that make sense? Learn to control what you can't and let go of what you can't, says Coach Eli. You're right. Sorry to hear, Vita. That's cool. I miss my mother dearly. She passed in 2010. Sorry to hear about that, Dusty's girl. Anna says, yeah, my mom only lives about 10 minutes down the road. Awesome. That's awesome. Wow. This is just super, 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 super windy. Yeah, I'm waiting for this dude. He's passed me a couple of times and I've passed him. He's just walking at a very, very slow pace. And I just don't like having people behind me. So folks, I'm gonna go off the air for a second and use the restroom. I will be right back in a few. Do not go anywhere. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right. We are back live. Dusty's girl says, I'll just say my daughter and I are estranged. I haven't seen her in a year and a half. So if it's not too personal, wow. If it's not too personal, Dusty's girl, this may help my lady out. Are you two not on speaking terms right now? Do you have any idea what happened, or is she just kind of doing her own thing and just kind of staying away from the family? This would definitely help my lady out, or anyone else that's going through something similar. There are a lot of, women that are rebels nowadays. I noticed that. I think it's because of the women's movement, they feel the need, like they have to prove they can do everything on their own. And they don't want any support from anyone. And that's what the social stigma has done. It's just insane how things are in the modern world. And you would figure women getting equal rights would make things a hell of a lot easier for women. I think it's complicated them a hell of a lot more. You tell me if that makes sense or not. Like I've always said, I'm all for women having equal rights, but it's just complicated things for women and even men more than ever before. Exactly, says Dusty's girl. What are you saying? What are you saying exactly to? I'm just kind of curious to know. What are you saying exactly to? Be more specific so I can respond to it properly, please, Dusty's girl. before I get blown away to smithereens on this trail. It's extremely windy here today. I think I've learned to better cup the microphone so at least you can hear me a little better throughout all this wind. Yeah, folks, finding the right balance is important. Finding the right balance in life is important in all aspects of your life. And one of the most important things to balance out in your life, in my opinion, based on what I've seen and what I've seen destroy other relationships, is your work and your personal life. And like I've said before, I'll say it again. Because women are still fairly new to the workforce, 55 years or so, and even 55 years ago when women were liberated around that time, all of them still weren't working. There were still a lot of traditional households where the man was working and the woman was the homemaker, the housewife, kind of like how my mom was. But now, over the last 15, 20 years, women have really, really risen up, and they're in corporate executive positions, etc. They're in these big jobs, and that's great, right? But what has it done to their personal life, right? These women are struggling with their work and their personal life. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not all women, but a lot of them are struggling with it. And I noticed this during the times I was single over the last 10 years on these dating apps like Match.com, for example. I came across a lot of women that were interested in getting to know me, wanted to hang out, but they could never find the time to meet. And part of it probably is because they had a better option. Maybe they had 2 or 3 other options. But still, even some women that make you their top option are still, so sucked into their work. They're so sucked into their work that they can never balance out the time to have a personal life. It is important that you find that balance in that aspect. It is important that you also find the balance of whenever you have what you want, whether it's a relationship or a job or whatever it is, right? Oh, there's a bunny right there. That's a big ass bunny. Buddy. You never want to squeeze too tight, and you never want to squeeze too loose. You always want to be cool, calm, and collective. I always like to say handle things respectfully, professionally, and maturely. It's the absolute truth. No matter how many times people have scrutinized me saying that phrase, it's the truth. All right, this dude's coming over on the other side. And now he's done at the observation deck. I'm going to be able to go up on the observation deck. I'm going to come down here for a second and check out the chat. Dusty's girl says, "Oh no, she has substance abuse and acts a fool. I tried to help her, but her husband and his family, including her father, enable her behavior." Whew. Strong wind. Were you able to hear that? When you hear my lady's story, Dusty's girl, trust me, it's going to resonate with you. I don't want to say too much, and we're getting to it this week. But here's the thing. What I've noticed when it comes to women, because women are emotional beings, right? And they respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. You can't give a woman any amount of logic to turn something around. You can't give a woman any amount of logic to turn something around, including substance abuse. You have to appease her emotions and calm her down, and then maybe you can have a civil conversation with her. You know, I love my woman to death. She's an awesome woman, but I had the same situation pop up with my lady, and it all has to do with her abandonment issue, right? But I worked through it with her because I love her and she has the biggest heart and soul, and I know that she's working through it, and she keeps getting stronger and stronger each and every day. Oh man, I can't wait to turn around the other side. The wind will be hitting my back, and this will be a lot easier. And the first section took me, wow, an hour and 1 minute to do. Wow. Give me a second here, and I'm going to get to the observation deck and check out the chat. In the meantime, folks, please like this video, whether you're here live or on the replay. Please share it out on your community walls or anywhere on social media. Please also subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. You need to be subscribed here in order to chat. Once you subscribe, you can chat immediately. There's no time restriction. There's no time waiting period. Please also subscribe to Coach Eli 2, uncensored live streams. I will probably be doing, oh my God, this is some strong wind today. I'll show you the current on the water. Please subscribe to Coach Eli 2. Nightbot sharing the link every 7 minutes or so. Subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, as I will more than likely be going live on Coach Eli 2 tonight with my lady being over. Take a look at this. Oh my God. Woo! Wow. You see that? Can you hear me at all? This is pretty bad. I'm turning around so you can hear me now because I need to block the wind here. You're gonna fly back with the help of the wind. Oh yeah. Oh, I'll be coming back in no time. I mean, wow, this is pretty strong. Sun's beautiful. Oh my God, like this is some strong wind. All right, let's get back down here. And that way this can calm down and start hitting my back. You know, when I'm up on that observation deck, I'm a little higher up, and that wind was really, really coming at me. I'll read the chat here in a second, Dusty's girl. Oh, okay. Not to mention she is spoiled and feels entitled. She also lives about 5 miles down the road. Is she, how old is her? How old is she? Is she between the ages of 25 and 40? Let me guess, Dusty's girl, she's a millennial between the ages of 25 and 40. I'm going to get the LOL from Dusty's girl right now on that, right? Another goddamn millennial. Pardon my French, all right? Didn't mean that directly to you, Dusty. I think you know I was just kind of being sarcastic there, right? Oh, the chat said unable to load. Please try again, but now it's back. Can you hear me now? Are we back normally? I had some error message pop up. Are we back normally now? Someone let me know. I'm gonna, yes, back to normal, says Anna. So yeah, Dusty's girl, how old is your little girl? Is she between 25 and 40? Because if that's the case, you know, I mean, I get it. And you know what? Let me ask you a question, Dusty's girl. Would you be open to coming on a panel at some point after my lady comes on and starts doing live panels and talking with my lady and maybe sharing some stories? Are you open to that, or are you just wanting to stay behind the scenes? Because Dusty's girl, you seem to have some really, really great stories and experiences that can really help some people out. And here's the thing, Dusty's girl. And Anna, you tell me. I know you like her. You've known her for a while. But you tell me, Anna, I think, and maybe you too, Anna, as well, but I think Dusty's girl, like, you could become like a contributor, like they have on CNN and Fox, and get paid to do that. And eventually I will start paying people when more money comes in to be contributors, because they bring value to these shows. So there's a lot of, there's a lot in the works, in the future works, which is what I'm trying to say regarding what's going to be coming here. You haven't seen anything yet. I think Vita would be awesome as a contributor. I do too. I think she slipped away for a bit, right when it started to get interesting. No, she has a lot of great stories and experiences to share with the world that can help a lot of people. You know, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. Everybody goes through things. We all have experiences, and those experiences are valuable. Those experiences that everyone goes through are valuable. Now, to me, it's funny how some people display their experiences on this platform. I think there's a better way to do it than the drama way. But everybody has experiences. Everybody has been through things. And everyone's experiences can help other less experienced people. That's what it's all about. You know, another person I really have enjoyed having around lately is Mandy C. She said she's 29. And I guessed that she was in her mid-30s, and she wasn't too thrilled about that. And Mandy was joking with me like all women do. Eli, don't you know the two things you never ask a woman are her age and her weight? Well, those are the two things that guys are most concerned about. Now, I've got a woman, so I'm just joking there. But if I was a single man, age and weight is a part of it. There's a reason why women don't want to share their age and weight, because they know they're being judged on that by all men pretty much, right? And I don't like to use the word judge, but you know what I mean, right? But the smart men, like you know, on some dating apps, you know, women will like not show their full body, right? Or they won't put their weight or anything, right? And the smart men will now realize, okay, if you're only showing headshots and not putting your weight, what are you trying to hide, right? So now women have become more creative. They take these like up side angle shots, sucking in their guts and trying to look as slender as possible for a semi full body shot. That's coming up from this angle where you can't really see her body anyway. Dusty's girl says I'm back. Dusty's girl, before you left, I was saying, you said your daughter is a substance abuser and this and that. And, you know, I was sharing a little bit about that. You got back to me about that. But I was also asking, well, how old is she? Is she between the ages of 25 and 40? Is she a millennial, LOL? Because if so, that would say a lot. My husband is terrible guessing ages. LOL, says Anna. I gotta tell you, man, these millennial YouTubers, they don't like it when you talk about millennials in general. Like they all get triggered when you talk about millennials. All of them, right? Even when you're not talking about any specific millennials, right? When you talk about millennials in general, these other millennial YouTubers get super triggered, especially the men. The women don't. The funny thing is the women don't get triggered. They don't respond, but the men get triggered, right? And why do they get triggered? Because you're right. I mean, think about it this way. If what I was saying about millennials is not true, then why would it trigger most millennial men? Right? You can come back and say, "Oh, Gen X, you're old school. You're yesterday's news, Gen X. You're yesterday's news, right?" All right, you can call me yesterday's news, Gen X. It's all good, but I'm not going to sit there and attack you or get triggered. It's your opinion. I'm secure within myself. But yeah, it's funny how these millennial men, because I really went off on guys yesterday and they deserved it, okay? These millennial men get triggered when you talk about anything to do with the millennial generation. Right? She's 30. Us women know all the tricks. Of course you do. Of course you ladies know all the tricks. Dusty's girl. With the camera angle shots, right? The angle camera shots, I mean. The makeup. The what do you call it? The filters. Oh, that's one thing these women use nowadays, like on Instagram and stuff. Oh, the filters, right? And then what happens when you meet the guy in person and look nothing like that filtered photo, right? Why pretend to be something you're not? Well, a lot of women nowadays just want attention on social media. They don't care about meeting anyone in person. They just care about, getting the best photos of them out there, all dolled up, all filtered, makeup, everything, and make money. That's how they make their money, right? And they ride that wave until, they start getting older and guys stop supporting them and start supporting younger women. That's what happens, right? But yeah, I think if I had to guess regarding your daughter, Dusty's girl, I think the generation she's a part of has a lot to do with her behavior and how she does things. I have noticed, and this is I shit you not, this is just my personal experience here. Again, before I met this woman I'm with, and in between relationships over the past 5 years or so, 5 to 7 years, I started to notice that the millennial women and younger were much more difficult to get dates with, and were much more women of, how do I say this the right way? Were much more into women's empowerment, and they were much more flexing their muscles. The millennial women have really been indoctrinated into the feminist agenda. No disrespect. I'm not saying the whole thing is bad. It's great that women have equal rights. But a lot of the millennial women have been indoctrinated to believe that, ladies, we don't need a man for anything. Ladies, you can do it. You can do it. Girl power, right? Nothing wrong with girl power. But if that changes your perception of men, right? There's something wrong with that agenda. The millennial women, I'll tell you. I will tell you this. I very rarely went on any dates with millennial women while I was single. Very, very rarely. And I've never had any relationship work with a millennial woman. I am 8 years older than the oldest millennial, right? I have always dated women. I've told my woman this, and it makes sense now. I've always dated women, 7 years younger than me or less, right? So 1 year above the millennial mark. I shit you not. It just has happened to be that way. You know, my lady is 46, almost 47. The last woman that I dated before her 3 years ago was 39 back then, is 42 now. She's Gen X. Dana before that was around the same age, 39 years before that. She's, I believe, 43 or 44 now. Gen X. The woman before that, when I was 40, was 34. 6 years. She's 41 now. Gen X. Interesting, right? So there is definitely a generation difference between Gen X and millennials. And granted, yes, it has a lot to do with the way that these kids are being raised, but even the kids, even the millennial kids that were raised in a good family, a lot of times go sideways, not because of their family's upbringing or their upbringing from their family. It's because of the modern day mainstream media, social media nowadays, electronic devices, all that stuff. All of these kids nowadays are influenced severely by people outside of their own household during their upbringing. So I cannot sit here and blame the parents completely, if at all, in some cases, right? Does that make sense? What hurts me the most is I have 3 grandbabies I don't get to see. So your daughter, your 30-year-old daughter has 3 kids, and she has a substance abuse issue and doesn't let you see the kids. Now, I'm assuming her substance abuse is not super bad to the point of where it would affect, her relationship with her kids. But it seems like it's bad enough to the point of where it affects her relationship with you. Babe, if you're watching behind the scenes, respectfully, maturely, professionally, okay? We know her behind the scenes as D-E-E, okay? I think one of these days you should connect with Dusty's girl and talk, and maybe we do a show on this with you and Dusty's girl. And yes, babe, your story and everything we talked about today inspired me to do this topic. But I wanted to do it to show you that you're not alone. You're not alone. Ladies, guys, you're not alone. Folks, you are not alone in what you're going through. You're not. And I am moving quite a bit faster on the way back because this wind is pushing me. Is the audio much better on the way back? Is the audio pretty crystal for right now? Someone let me know, please. Dusty's girl, I don't believe so. And she's just correct. J-Rom says, Coach J-Rom says, it takes a strong hand to handle millennial woman. They need manhandled to become as submissive as a little kitty. You're right. You are right. Do you agree with that, J-Rom, that the millennial generation, the millennial women, are the first generation to be really different when it comes to modern day relationships. And again, like we've said before, Coach J-Rom, this is with no disrespect, the millennial men are the most feminized men in the world's history. And that trend is going to continue happening, and it is continuing to happen through the Gen Zers. But the Gen Z men, the post-millennial men, they're trying to turn it around. At least they're seeking information on the internet, and they're really trying to turn things around. I hope by the time we get to the next generation, which is the alpha generation, age 10 and younger, when these kids get to 15, 16 and start dating, or early 20s and they start dating and stuff like that, I hope they figure it out. By that point, there should be enough content on the damn internet and out here on YouTube to help every single man become a real man, and every single woman better understand what's happening in this modern world. I'm still going to be here doing this for as long as I can. Probably at Anna. Coach Yaram, yes, they are different, but I find millennial women look to use older men for guidance. With proper handling, they tame down. No, I agree. And see, here's the thing. My woman is 46. But she came across some men that were very beta. And they were her age, and they were Gen Xers. There are some Gen X men that are just as beta as many millennial men. I'm not taking that. I'm not giving them a free pass. No. Right? And there are probably some beta men that are baby boomers that are in their 60s and 70s, right? But the generation that created an abundance of beta males is the millennial generation. That's a fact. I mean, that's not even criticism. That's a fucking fact. And if that triggers you millennials out there, then you're just more so proving it to be a fact, right? I'm definitely moving a lot faster on the way back and having no issues. Opposite of the wind. Oh yeah. Let me see here. Audio is clear, minimal background noise. Thank you, Anna. So, talking earlier about suffocating people, what we were talking about earlier, which is what I'm trying to say, about suffocating people, right? Squeezing somebody too tight versus squeezing somebody, squeezing someone too tight versus not squeezing someone tight enough. Or being right in the middle. Holding on at a reasonable, decent level. Being well balanced is what it's all about. Nobody's perfect, folks. And if you ask me, well, Eli, what do you think my balance is? Well, your balance is going to be different than everyone else's balance. What works for me may not work for you. What balances me out may not balance you out. You may need something different to balance you out, right? But you have to figure out what works for you, right? But as a good guideline, when you squeeze way too tight or not tight enough, you're going to lose either way. You squeeze too tight, you're going to suffocate the person. In essence, in a figurative way, you're going to kill them, right? They're going to leave you. They're going to be so overwhelmed. And it's going to be so emotionally taxing that they're going to want to get away. And that's another thing I want to talk about. Let's talk about, when people have traumatic issues stemming back to their childhood, and let's say it's abandonment, kind of like my lady's issue, right? That we've been working through for a while now, right? She's gotten a lot better, right? She's going to squeeze on very tight to everyone that comes around, including me. But I talk with her about it. And I tell her how it makes me feel. I tell her I love her. I'm not going to leave her. But I tell her it can be, and it is, overwhelming at times. And I can handle it, but when multiple things start happening and you need my emotional support regarding multiple things at once, it gets very overwhelming, especially with someone that squeezes as tight as you do, right? And it becomes emotionally taxing and draining, right? And again, baby, I love you. We're not going anywhere. We're good. I'm just sharing this for example purposes, okay? Men and women, they process emotions differently. Let's talk about that, because that'll continue what I'm trying to explain here. Both men and women are emotional or have emotions, right? You know, a lot of men will say women, like I say this all the time, women are emotional beings and they respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. How many times have you heard me say that? A million times. It's the truth, right? But then women will come back and say, well, men are emotional beings too. Well, yes, we do have emotions. Both men and women have emotions, but we process our emotions differently. We are biologically different, right? So we process those emotions differently, right? And what I try to get my lady to understand this morning, and I'm putting out here today, is that when it comes to women need to have their emotions stimulated all damn day, every day. Women need to be constantly stimulated all day, every day. Men do not work like that. If you overly stimulate a man's emotions all day, every day, we shut down. All right? If you overly stimulate our emotions all day, every day, we shut down. It's very draining to us. What's very fulfilling and satisfying to women is very draining to men. And that is the difference, in my opinion. You tell me what you think in the chat. That is the difference, in my opinion, of how men and women process and handle emotions differently. The wind is back, but it's hitting my back. Let me reset the chat. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're back live. We are back live. Let's see, the chat has sorted itself out. Coach Eli says, honestly, I like a bit of the clingy, needy behavior, but too much is exhausting. Well, I think what you're trying to say in different words, J-Rom, is that, you know, you want the woman to be interested in you for real, but if she overdoes it, then it becomes too much. It becomes exhausting, bro. And the point of where, in my opinion, from what I've seen, where it becomes exhausting is when women have unresolved issues. When women have unresolved issues, even with men, same with men. I'm not trying to criticize women. I'm saying in general, when people have unresolved issues, whether they're a man or a woman, that's when it becomes exhausting to the other side. Because there are men out there that have these traumatic issues that are unresolved, stemming back to their childhood. And they come across a good woman, they start dating, and the woman starts to realize, oh, this guy has unresolved issues, and I'm going to be like his therapist now, right? It becomes exhausting and overwhelming, right? Now, I think it's a little bit different between men and women. Like, as a guy, guys are more prone in my opinion, to deal with a little bit of childhood trauma that women have had and help them through it. But I honestly feel that if it was on the flip side, women are less prone to help men through something similar, because women are looking up to a man for their emotional strength. If the man has emotional issues, then what's the woman going to get out of it, right? Then in essence, it's a woman being the man in the relationship, and that never works out when the polarities flip sexually, right? It doesn't, right? So, if people are asking, or if my lady's going to ask a fair question, then why are you with me? Because I'm a man, I love you, and you have a big heart and soul, and it's something that men do to help women. We support you emotionally. As long as you're good to us with your heart and soul, like you are, baby, that's all that matters. She's definitely busy working, or she would be here chatting, especially saying this. If I had my way, I'd be on the phone with you before you walk out the door. Anna and J-Rom, too cute. What do you mean by that, Anna? I'm not making out what you mean by that. Who are you saying that to? Whew. That wind is hitting my back pretty hard and coming at the side and pushing my microphone. Give me a second here. All right. Yeah, so what do you mean by that, Anna? Let's see. That was to Josh. Okay. All right, that was for J-Rom. All right, everyone. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. I'm going to be going off the air in probably a few minutes because I've said everything I had to say. And there aren't a whole lot of people here right now. So if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to be wrapping this up in a few minutes. Again, please like this video, whether you're here live or on the replay. Please share it out on your community walls, community tabs. Share it out on social media. Subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications on both my channels. Whether you're here and you haven't subscribed yet, you need to be subscribed to chat on both my channels. Once you subscribe on both channels, you can chat immediately on both channels. If you need the link to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams, where I'll be going more than likely live tonight, later on. It'll be a late night show, probably around 10 or 11 Eastern, 7 or 8 p.m. Pacific, if I do it. So Nightbot sharing the link every 7 minutes to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live stream. Subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and you'll know the moment I go live there. Scroll up to my last comment, and what Anna said will make more sense. I wanted to miss me bad enough to call 5 minutes after I leave, but to hang up after 10 minutes, I got shit to do. Yeah, good point. And see, my lady, if she watches this replay, I don't think she's here right now. We talk on the phone for hours at a time. Now, there are times where, when she leaves my place, she will miss me and she will call me, and it will be a quick call, but a lot of times it's a longer call. And that's another thing you have to work out with your partner, is find a balance. Because women that are really into you are going to want to spend every fucking second with you, right? And that's great in theory, but for men need time and space to be in their man cave. Men also need time to do their purpose, right? So, you got to have that conversation with your lady and tell her, baby, I love you. I'd love to spend as much time with you as possible, but I got to go to work to bring home the bacon. Okay? I also need a little time and space to my man cave, to just be by myself and just decompress. You got to give men the time to decompress. Because, ladies have very, very strong emotions, and they go through a lot of things emotionally, especially as they get older, right? I'll try to make it no problem. And if you can't, no worries. You can catch the replay. We've been on for 95 minutes minus a minute, like 94 minutes, so an hour and 35 minutes. I'm only going to do this side of the trail today because the wind resistance is going to burn the same amount of calories if it wasn't as windy and I did the whole trail. I can tell when my body's just getting tired and I've done enough on one side. It's when it's windy, that resistance is like a double workout. So you got to know when to not push yourself. Like Coach J-Rom says behind the scenes a lot, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? But I want to thank you all for being here. I will say this before you folks get on out of here, okay? The other day, I believe, what was it, a couple days ago, was Cinco de Mayo, okay? This is the weekend, folks. And it's probably really nice out where you're at. And instead of, spending all your weekend on YouTube infesting yourself with stupid shit, turn it off for once. And get out there and take a walk, take a nice hike. All right? Just a guy came up behind me pretty quick, so I let him pass. Thank you, Eli. You're welcome, Dusty's girl. Get out there and spend some time in nature. Spend some time with your friends, with your family. Get off the damn internet, right? Don't get me wrong, I love YouTube. I'm an information sponge myself, and nothing wrong with that. But many of you folks out here infest yourself in stupid shit, right? I'm not here to tell you what to do and how to handle that. But maybe just take the weekend off and it'll still be there when you come back on Monday. How's that? Food for thought. It's a start. It's a start at least, right? But some people just can't live without it. Anyway, to each its own. With that being said, I want to thank you all for being here. Have yourselves a good one, and more than likely I will see you later tonight on Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.